Mr. Fix-It is here to take on your DIY dilemmas. Text or WhatsApp to 083 3010 103.
Questions coming in for Mr. Fix-It already on 083 3010 103. Brian Cloonan from Cloonan's Hardware here to answer your questions. Very good morning, Brian.
Good morning. How are you, David?
You appear distracted.
Yeah. I was looking out into the... So you shouldn't have a glass window into the main studio.
No.
Because I look out and I get distracted. There's somebody with very animated hand gestures out there.
Okay, now you're distracting me.
It looks like they're landing a plane,
okay,
but maybe not.
Yeah, we are talking about you guys. Get back to work. Okay. Let's get you back to work, Brian. Mary from Mullingar has been in touch. Morning, guys. We have a beautiful flower bed beside a black iron railing. The railing is covered in algae and moss. We need to paint the railing. She's wondering if it's safe to apply ActiWash to eradicate the algae from the black iron railing prior to painting it. And if it's not, like, what product will be safe to apply? No,
so nearly all the biocides, which is what most of the moss and algae killers are safe to use around plants. They mostly tend to be organic, so perfectly fine to use the ActiWash.
Okay.
I suppose worth noting, there's a couple of people get confused. There's a couple of different types of ActiWash. They're actually both the same, but just one makes more than the other. So people see the word pro for professional on one, and they say, "Oh, that must be better." It's a brilliant product.
More concentrated?
It's just more concentrated.
Okay.
So instead of walking out with, as you would traditionally with a lot of these products, I need a lot, so I either need to buy 5 litres or a 25-litre drum. So when you walk out with 1 5-litre of ActiWash Pro, it's the same as walking out with a 25-litre drum. It's no better, it's no worse, it just simply makes more. But whether it's whatever of those biocides you use, they're all fine to use around plants. You need a dry... You really need, it says a dry 4 hours. You'd really need, I would say, ideally a dry 12 hours. And, sometimes when you clean off all the algae and the moss and so on, and then a gentle, if you're going to paint, give it an aggressive power washing, because it takes off all the loose and flaking paint that's going to come off.
Okay, that's coming off already, so you may as well blast it.
Yeah, and if you feel so normally we'd be saying to people a paint scraper and a wire brush, but it's amazing what a power washer does. It takes off so much stuff that you'd be at forever with a paint scraper. Okay. But sometimes, particularly with dashed walls and fences like this, people say, I need to paint it looks bad, but the first thing you have to do is kill the algae. And then they say, oh, now that I've killed the algae, that wall, that fence, that railing doesn't look as bad as I thought.
Yeah.
So killing the algae is a very simple thing to do. As I say, ideally a knapsack sprayer, because it makes it go further. You don't waste as much. Spray it on a fine day. Within 2 or 3 days, all the algae is dead, and more or less a heavy shower of rain will wash off the dead algae.
Because even the finest fringes of where the algae is, that mightn't appear like algae, but it makes the wall look dirty.
Exactly.
So it's much more widespread than you probably give credit for in that instance.
And often people will do, particularly in walls, and particularly with the red algae, they will treat the area that has the algae. And only when that algae is dead, they realise, there was a hazing of algae, which, comparatively speaking, was invisible, because the red algae you could see was so bad, and now the red algae that was almost invisible, not invisible at all, you can see it now that the rest is gone. So always treat them, you're right, always treat a much bigger area than you think you need to treat.
That would be what would happen if you hoovered the centre point of my floor at the moment. You would leave a clean spot. Brian's starting to take his clothes off now and getting concerned. That was the noise of a zipper.
That was the zip of my jacket not the zip of anything else.
Okay.
Just to be clear. Just to be very clear.
Please, yes. People, radio's a troubling medium when you hear zips move.
I enjoyed... I always feel like if I'm... I work in a hardware shop, and you could handle something dirty and you end up... you never realise how often you touch your face.
Yes.
And if you handle something dirty, within 2 minutes, you'll have the dirt on your face transferred. And I say to the lads in the shop, please tell me, if I have a black mark, don't let me go all day. And I go home that evening and I'm washing my face, before I go to bed at night, and I realise that feckin' mark must be there since I handled that greasy lock this morning.
That's what he's
shortly after 10 o'clock. But anyway, I was in a coffee shop recently, and there was a guy standing up to go, and I realised that his fly was undone. And I would always appreciate if someone said to me, and so I said, "Oh, you might want to zip that up before you leave."
Yeah.
And his comment, which I enjoyed, was, "It's all right," he said. "A dead bird never fell out of a nest."
But it's not all right. Zip it up, mate.
Zip it up anyway.
Yeah.
Zip it up anyway.
Troubling the rest of us. I've the one for me is when you're cooking in the kitchen and you're handling chilies. I always forget, rub the eye, and then you've got hours of trouble.
Okay, once it's only the eye on your face, you rub.
Speaking of zippers, actually, do you know what brought it into focus is having a baby in the house. I'm like actually actively conscious of it because I don't want to transfer burning chili paste onto
a small baby. No, definitely not.
I hear they don't appreciate it.
No, I don't think anyone does.
No. Colin in Durrow is a man after my own heart. He's asking, is there any way of washing down my roof without having to climb an extension ladder? It needs to be done every year because I have pine trees nearby and it's very expensive to get it done, and he's not as comfortable on heights as he used to be. Yeah, no, this is something I would not like the prospect of. And pine trees nearby, that's going to be a recurring issue.
Yeah, we have now our neighbours, they're fabulous Scots pines, but they're huge. And so there's two things. There's needles. There's a million needles. I'd say there's 15 trees. So there are a million needles and they fall everywhere. They also deposit the cones, which if I collected them and dried them and sprayed them white, they would make for a fabulous Christmas display.
If ifs and nuts were candy, whatever it is,
And our two dogs, well, one in particular, brings in every single time she goes outside. She brings in a pine cone and deposits it, and usually chews its bits all over the floor. So there's a fantastic brush. Who makes it? Dosco is the one I've seen. There may be others out there, but Dosco definitely do one. It's a soft brush. You connect. It's like what you'd wash your car with.
Okay.
So it's a soft head brush. It doesn't damage the car. This is not designed for a car. It doesn't damage the car, and you connect your garden hose to the end of it. So people will be familiar with those. They call them truck wash brushes, but people mostly use them for cars, and has an extendable handle on it. And the hose, the water goes in through the handle up to the top and comes out through a nozzle at the top. But this one it's a wider brush than the truck wash. It has 4 spray nozzles on it, which means it does a really good job on the roof. But here's the thing. It goes up to 10 metres long.
Oh, wow.
So, that's that's over 30 feet long.
Any two-storey house, you should be grand.
Exactly. So certainly single story without a problem, most 2 stories without a problem. And people, I think it was originally designed for washing solar panels, which of course, because if you have a build-up on your solar panel, but you can use it to wash you could use it to wash high walls, high windows. I had a guy saying he washes his windows with it. What he said was he was driving down the road and he has one of these brushes that he uses for his roof, and he's driving down the road and he sees one of the professional window wipers using one of these to wash high windows. And he said, I've high windows. And I never thought of you.
And he's already got the implement.
He already has the thing. He has it. So it's gas. So it's a very easy way, a relatively easy way that you're not climbing extension ladder. I get it. I struggled on an extension ladder just because I have bad knees, and standing like that on a very narrow platform on an extension ladder can be sore on my knees. So it would be useful for me as well.
Okay. Where maybe we can all avail of this telescopic roof washer in the future then. Loads more still to come. Brian's in good form for a change, so we might...
There's a reason for that. I'm not looking across the road at Grumpy.
Ah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and speaking of that, I hope the hemorrhoid operation goes well.
It never seems to do the trick.
No, it doesn't.
No.
It doesn't.
Okay, we're back after these. It's 31 minutes past 10.
Mr. Fixes with Brian Cloonan. Call 0818 300 183 and put our toolman to the test.
Brian Cloonan live in studio to answer this very question. Very much appreciate you getting in touch from an unnamed caller. Can you get the original Jay's fluid anymore, Brian?
You can. It's back.
What is Jay's fluid, Brian?
So J's fluid is a disinfectant that comes in small tins and medium tins and large tins, and it was used for washing out for stinky drains and washing out dog kennels and all sorts of different things, including killing mold spores, say, in the ground if you've black spot on your roses.
Oh, yeah.
If you could think of treating the ground in February with the J's fluid, because it's not hugely expensive. Now, J's fluid actually stopped J's, Jeyes.
Yeah.
The company stopped making the original J's fluid because the raw ingredient had become more expensive, and they produced a new look J's fluid, which was a pine, smelled lovely, but didn't do some of the things that the old J's fluid did. So they just quite rightly made a decision. Look, it's going to cost more, but you pays your money, you take your choice, and it just goes to show it's selling away like hotcakes again, in spite of not being available for the last 3 years. So they were very foolish to drop it.
Yeah.
As always with these things, it's like sometimes when we'd be selling spare parts for something in the shop, and most spare parts are, in my opinion, quite ridiculously expensive for what they are. But the only thing I always say, at least you have the option.
Yeah. You
can say, that's too dear, I won't buy it, as opposed to, I can't get it. So you have, say, a knapsack sprayer, and there's a single washer, or a knapsack sprayer that's 50 or 100 euros worth, and I can't get the part for it. Therefore, the whole thing is scrapped. Or I can pay 20 euros, which if it's a 50 euro sprayer probably doesn't make sense. But if it's a 100 euro sprayer and it's a good sprayer, it's probably worth it. But at least you have the choice, as opposed to just being told it's not available. Now, I do notice less and less companies doing spare parts, supplying the stuff, which is really annoying. But anyway, that's the life we're becoming accustomed to.
Yeah, this is it. Rationalisation and efficiencies are overtaking logic sometimes. Yeah. Interesting to see stuff like J's have been rolled back onto the market then.
And it's funny, lots of places now would do the spare parts, but they're so expensive, they stop selling. And then they say, oh, we stopped doing the spare parts because they didn't sell very well. Yeah, of course they didn't sell very well. You were charging a ridiculous amount of money for them. That's why they didn't sell very well.
Capitalism is good fun. Okay, Jackie in Mullingar, there's a loud banging noise coming from the spin of my washing machine. What could it be? It's 2 years old only. Would it be worth fixing?
One of the things it could be, now again, the washing machine engineer community might ring in with a better answer than this.
083 30 10 103, washing machine engineer community listening.
But it could be simply that the little adjusting wheels, adjusting feet. So you buy a new washing machine.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And they come with 4 adjustable feet that go up and down. So if your floor level isn't perfect, it allows you to adjust the feet, and they can move. The vibration makes them move. So they are adjustable, usually that you can adjust them down and then tighten them back. So what happens is the little foot that comes down, you twist and twist and twist until it's level on the floor. Yeah. But then there's normally a nut that you slide up to stop it becoming loose again, stop it moving again.
Yeah.
So it could well be, the fact that it's on the spin, to me would indicate there's a distinct possibility. It could be simply that the foot has moved, it's no longer level, and the spin is such a vigorous action. If the feet aren't perfectly level, the washing machine is basically bouncing up and down off the ground. It's not the end of the world, but it's not good for it either, because it's a movement that, any movement like that is not good for all the parts in the washing machine. So have a look at that and see whether that's what it is. If you were to put your hand in the washing machine and lift it up at the back or the front, does it stop while the spin is still going? Then you know what the thing is, just adjust the feet.
Okay, hopefully that sets you right, Jackie. Brendan in Kilcormac, I was in the graveyard over the weekend, just visiting, not staying. Good to hear, Brendan.
Not staying, yeah.
However, the headstone lettering looked bad and was missing in parts. He thinks it needs repainting. The only thing is, a bit like Brian, I'm not great on the knees. I think Brian's probably great on his knees.
No, he's not.
Okay. Is there any way to paint it without being down with a tiny artist's brush? I might not be able to get back up.
Yeah, I was watching the the tidy towns. I'm on I was included in the WhatsApp group. I'm not involved. I shouldn't really be there, but I just am in awe every single week when I see and I'm sure it's the same all around the Midlands. In Tullamore, there's a really active Tullamore Tidy Towns WhatsApp group.
The time they spend on towns
Sunday
across the
morning,
Midlands is brilliant.
I'm just looking at them on a Sunday morning at 8 o'clock in the morning, and they're out doing work. But they were touching up signs, and I meant to actually contact them to show them the easier way of doing it. But somebody spent hours with a little exactly that, a little tin of paint and a little artist paintbrush.
So what's the
brushing in the letters?
Solution here?
So the solution is particularly easy if it happens to be a marble or granite headstone. So that's going to be the white or the black headstone, or even nowadays you see it in a browny colour and grey colour for that. So it's a granite, it's a polished, a very smooth finished stone, as opposed to the limestone, which will be a rougher grey stone. So what you simply do is you get some masking tape and you tape around the letters, not individually now, you just tape around a batch of letters. So say the first 3 lines would be, here lies Brian Cloonan,
remembered by nobody.
Dearly beloved by everyone except Will Faulkner. Yeah, I might get that in the headstone. Or indeed, you remember like your man Spike Milligan's one, he started with, I told you I was sick. So if your headstone starts with, I told you I was sick, you would tape masking tape around that sentence.
Yeah.
And then you would get, so if it's a white headstone, if it's a white marble headstone, it'll have black letters. And if it's a black headstone, it'll have white letters or gold letters. And you get a tin of the appropriate coloured acrylic spray paint, which is less than a tenner. And you spray all of everything inside that rectangle.
Yeah.
So I told you I was sick now becomes a big, say it's a white headstone, a marble white headstone. You spray it on and you get a big black rectangle after you take off the masking tape. And then you get a Bohemian blade scraper, which is the scraper that loads of people have for cleaning their glass hob or for taking stains off windows. Again, €3, €4, €5 for the scraper. And you then just take off it's like you're cleaning a window, it's like you're cleaning that ceramic hob. You just run the blade over the surface and all the paint that's in the engraved letters. So all the paint that's on the flat surface comes off.
Yeah.
All the paint that's in the letters stays there. And it's a really quick and easy job. It's so easy to do. Now, if it's a limestone, then what you'd be doing is exactly the same thing, but you'd be using a bit of fine sandpaper to take off all the stuff. Now, you will clean the whole front of the headstone, but a little sandpaper sponge, or wrap a piece of very fine sandpaper around a piece of timber, and sand, and again, all the letters that all the paint that's engraved into the letter will remain behind perfectly, and the front will be perfectly clean.
Takes zero artistic ability.
Exactly.
Which is the key selling point.
Well, it takes zero patience, really, and artistic ability is not necessary, and you don't have to be down on your hands and knees or sitting in a little chair for a few hours painting this in.
Yeah, hopefully we set someone right on that. Speaking of headstones, good morning, guys. What treatment and paint do I use to paint a statue on a headstone?
So most statues in a headstone would be made from marble or stone and really designed not to be painted. But if you're going to paint it, I would suggest the very best thing would be something like the Super Deck, which is a Sadlin product, or else the Rust-Oleum Universal Paint. But the Super Deck is water-based, it'll be easier to use. And you can get it in small tins, in individual colours, doesn't need a primer, really, really waterproof and really easy to use. Now, the smallest thing you can get, I think, is 250 mils. So, if you're touching up little bits of if it's whatever it is, you're doing a little bit of a gold touch-up or a gold, say, crown on some, on if it was a Mary and it was a crown, or you mightn't need so much of it is going to be the only problem.
Yeah.
But it would be a very, very effective paint to use on that, because you don't need a primer, because it grips so well, because it's quick drying. It works really, really well.
Ticks all the boxes.
It ticks all the boxes.
Okay, hopefully, Bernice, that ticks your box in that respect. Brian's going to answer a few more questions very shortly. We're running out of time, though, so if you want to get them into us for consideration, 083 30 10 103.
Mr. Fixit is here to take on your DIY dilemmas. Text or WhatsApp to 083 30 10 103.
Brian Cloonan here to answer your DIY questions. Let's get stuck in as we approach the top of the hour. This is a tricky one, Brian. How do I get my dishwasher back working? My daughter put washing liquid in it last Saturday when I was working at the time. We had no washing capsules left. Could you ask Brian, what can I do? She put white vinegar in it. The lights are still flashing on the dishwasher, but it's still not working.
So washing liquid, so I'd imagine it all foamed up and came out of the drawer and maybe came... Hopefully it's still lighting. So I suppose, look, one of the very first things you do, as always with these things, is unplug it and leave it unplugged for a while. Maybe take out the drawer. So all the drawer in your wash machine can come out completely. There's a little button underneath that you push, so if you slide out the drawer as far as you can, look underneath, you'll see a push point that you can push it out, and you could wash out the drawer really well to make sure all the washing liquid is gone. And you could even syringe some hot water down into the tube that everything goes down into, in case there's any washing up liquid there. That's what I presume she means, washing up liquid, which would create a huge amount of suds, which could have gotten somewhere that you don't want it. But she said she used the vinegar, and it sounds as though it did a wash.
It's a dishwasher. I can't remove a drawer.
Oh, of course. Sorry, I was thinking of a washing machine.
Yeah.
But it sounds though, if you put in the video, it did a wash, no?
She's currently typing. Well,
okay.
the joys of WhatsApp.
Yeah, that and live radio.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would have said the vinegar was quite a good idea because the acid would help break it down. It won't do any harm whatsoever. It'll descale it. I'm afraid if the domestic appliance engineer community are still listening, please give us a ring with a suggestion.
Okay, Darina, apologies, but
sorry.
Keep sending your message on, and maybe all the extra information will get Brian over the line on this one. Let's put a pause on Darina and turn to Anne, who has sent us in a photo of her hot press. The tap in it is leaking slightly. Any ideas regarding sealing it, please? You've had a look at this picture.
Yeah,
what
so
do you
I
think?
see it there. It's leaking above so it's a gate valve. It's on a pipe, and it's a pity it's not below the pipe, because if it's below the pipe, you could turn off the tap for a minute and take the pressure off it. But do turn off the tap for a few minutes anyway. And I would say the best thing is get some plumber's putty and dry it as best you can. You can put a hairdryer on it so that it's evaporating away. So you dry it off. Mix your plumber's putty. Plumber's putty is a 2-pack putty. Comes in a little tube, like a test tube. You slice off a bit of this putty and you mix it in your hands. And when you mix it in your hands, within 3 or 4 minutes, it'll have gone hard. So that's the beauty of this. It goes hard really, really quickly. So you're getting it as dry and as you can. As I say, the hairdryer kept on it would be quite good. And apply it and force it into place. But only apply it as you feel the putty beginning to go hard. And then apply it straight away and push it in really tight. And I think that'll probably work. The other option is a thing called SOS tape, which is a self-amalgamating tape. It doesn't stick to the pipe, it sticks to itself. So in this case, you would go maybe 2 inches above the pipe and you'd stick it on and wrap it around, but you always overlap by 50%.
It needs that overlap.
And you keep pulling it tight and wrap and pulling tight, and you go right over the joint and over the tap itself.
Like tape on a hurl.
That's an excellent analogy.
You don't get this from Will Faulkner,
No, he never held a hurl in his life. He never held a hurl,
would protest,
definitely.
But we know it's not true.
He comes from Kildare. He doesn't even know what a hurl is.
Come on now. Okay. Actually, Anne has a follow-up just in relation to a chat we had previously. We were talking about a compound that you can use for filling in divisions between paving slabs, but Anne's forgotten the name.
There's loads of different brands. It's just jointing compound. It comes in a big bucket. There's usually 2 bags in the bucket, and it's activated by the air. So you take out this vacuum-packed bag of basically sandy powder, and you put it on, and it's so easy to use with, because it's like the sand. It's like a very fine sand, so it goes on without any problem. It's not wet, but when the air gets at it, it sets like cement. So it's a very easy way of jointing your stones without all the work that normally goes with it.
Okay, let's return to Darina in Port Arlington and her suds-filled dishwasher.
Yes.
Her follow-up there was it wouldn't let any more water to come in so far.
Any water coming into it?
Seemingly so.
Okay.
Is it blocked up then?
Yeah, but the washing liquid shouldn't block it up. So please, domestic appliance engineer, also known as the washing machine man or woman, give us a buzz with an answer to that if you can, please.
And if it comes up before we finish up at 12 o'clock, I'll give it a shout regardless of Brian's presence in that regard. Okay, there's a drip from the toilet for Mary in Mullingar. I presume we're talking about from the cistern into the bowl, that kind of constant
drip. Well, in that case, it's probably just the little washer in the siphon is gone. So, and as somebody said to me, I had a plumber recently, and I asked the question, and he said, "Brian, just Google it. It'll come up on YouTube and exactly what to do." And you know what? He was actually right.
Okay, well.
So, as always, no plumber wants this job because it's such a small little job and you have to drive to the house and do the job. It only takes a few minutes, but then drive on to the next job. And then if you charge what you should charge for it, you look like the worst in the world because it only took you a few minutes and nobody factors in the drive through and the drive away from and all the time that goes into that.
Just Google it. That's why we pay Brian Cloonan so much to come in here. Just Google it. Thanks for that, Brian. Well, this dishwasher is really getting a lot of engagement. Other people are trying to help now as well. Does the dishwasher sound like it's straining to work? If so, it could be the pump. Thank you, Hilda. Another message coming in. Open the door to get as much of the suds out. Yeah, okay, good stuff. 083 3010 103. Brian, you often come in here and we learn a lot when you talk and when you
I hear a boot
questions.
coming. I hear I've been set up for a fall.
Joe's been in touch.
Right.
And Joe has something here for you. Maybe you'll learn something from Joe.
Great. Well, we learn something from customers every day and listeners.
Jay's Fluid.
Yes.
Created by John Jays.
Okay.
In 1886 in Cambridge. It was added to bath water for scarlet fever at the time.
Wow. Oh, my God.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, do you know the smell of it?
No.
Imagine taking a bath in Jay's Fluid. Whoa.
I might try it.
Okay, I'll bring some in.
Okay.
Yeah, you can report back.
Here's hoping Will Faulkner will be on Mr. Fix-It for next week. Brian, that's all we have time for. Thanks for coming in to us.
Thanks, David.
Okay, we've got the news at 11 o'clock coming up next. We're talking about the cost of tolls in the Midlands when we return after the news. And also you'll hear from an award-winning global AI company CEO who has advice on how to get through the Leaving Cert.